Hello, everyone. So I will try to explain about the Ansible. So my name is Rodrigo. So it's the first time here, and I try to explain something about Ansible. Okay. I'm not an expert in Ansible, so I try to learn and do anything inside of my job because it's easier to make some configurations about these tasks that I made day by day. So the idea is just to make introductions and the motivations to make this and the conclusion about the tool, okay? So I'm a CCE, so I get my certification in 2016. So when I finish my certification, I try to verify what's the best idea to make this. For example, to configure some devices on the same time because, for example, I need to make the configuration on the router or switch, so I need to do each one. Okay, so here I'm trying to verify what's the challenge that need to do inside of this because I'm a native CLI, so I just access the device and make the configuration there. Okay, so my challenge to work in these tools regarding learning Linux, virtualizations, and some things. Okay, my motivation to make this, for example, regarding a cloud scale. So in most time you have a lot of devices that need to do the configuration. So I put here an idea about network devices. So most of the time you have a different operation system. So this idea here is made to inside of the Cisco. Okay, so are different iOS. So iOS XR, iOS XE, and it's NXOS. So it's a different to do the configuration by the CLI. So the command line, it's totally different when I use do or another, okay? So in most time in the company, the team it's so small, so it's difficult to make this quickly. So the idea here that to make a rapid deployment using this inside of the data center or on the branch office or something like that. Inside of the enterprise scale, so I have repetitive tasks. For example, to make a configuration inside of the management tools regarding SNMP or change the NTP servers or something like that. So you need to make it in all devices on the same time, and the time window is so short because it's a critical environment. So that's my motivation to learn more about Ansible. Okay. This tool is based on the DevOps terms, so I believe that all guys here listen about this term. Okay. So the idea about this that you can follow this way inside of the test and the release and deploy your configuration, or for example, to operate or to plan another code and so on. So this cycle is continuous. So you need to make better codes or better configurations in order to deploy this. Okay. Here there is an example that you can use inside of each step. So, for example, Ansible inside of the deploy, but you can use in another tasks, for example. Okay. So just to example, that is different tools that you work inside of the terminology. Okay, of the DevOps. So just to explain a little about the Ansible. Okay. So it's open source, but it's sponsored by Red Hat. Okay, and in this case, it's a simple way to automate IT infrastructure. Okay, and this language, all the teams can use this. The idea that I put here, for example, the developer teams, the network administrator, system administrator, okay, sysadmin, the term that you listen, okay. These tools, there are different logo if you see. The first one is an open project, and down the head Ansible engine. So these tools had support on the environment, or can give you some support if you have some problem to make some configuration or something like that, okay? But the open project is so good because the people or the community can support a lot of things if you need the doubles to make this, okay? I put here, for example, the provides enterprise-ready solution to apply in your life cycle. For example, servers to cloud, containers, and some other infrastructure that needs to do, okay? The most important is agentless. So it's not necessary to install something in your device or in infrastructure or in your server, because about the devices, all the codes running inside of node control. That's the machine will execute Python, for example, in order to make a configuration on the device. So it's good because it's not necessary to install in all devices a specific client, okay? So it's a simple language. It's YAML. So YAML, it's easy to read this, what I needed to do, okay? And the background of the Ansible, all modules running inside of the Python, okay? Here I put another idea in order to management your playbooks, for example, or in order to monitoring what's needed to do. For example, the open source project regarding a name AWX, so it's an open source, okay? You can download from the GitHub, for example, and install in your machine and try to execute this, okay? There is a quickly acceptance inside of the community to help you if you need to make something, for example. And another example that I put here about Ansible Tower. So this is a Red Hat product, okay? So the Red Hat you will support on this, for example, to make an installation or to make a support about the project that you need to do, okay? So there's more stable, there's more security because Red Hat all the time that has less version than the project of the open source, okay? So there is something that you need to analyze with the better for you, okay? So it's more reliability, it's stable. Just to explain something about the YAML structure, so it's a dictionary that you do inside of the playbook. It's unordered because it's not necessary to put all the things in the list of the sequence. So there is a value pairs that you need to put there. And on the side, I put an example, for this. The name and the job and the skill and the employee or the certifications. So you needed to put in sequence or something like that to inform about the data that you needed to execute on this. Just to explain about the Ansible in network environment, because it's totally different when you make on the Linux or Windows, for example. If you're using inside of the network hostings, so it's not necessary that I mentioned before to install anything in the device, okay? So all the code executing node control, so just to access the device and try to execute the configuration that you plan inside of this. But if you use Linux, for example, all the codes that you execute, you go through on the device. So there is a total difference here that the Python code is executed on the server machine or hosts that you needed to do, okay? So, and there is a difference when you mention about the connections. So when you execute on the network hosts, you need to execute by RESTconf, for example, or network CLI. And you execute on the Linux, just to mention about a local, okay? I mentioned that I will do a demo on the code on Thursday, so I try to explain more about this. So I have some codes in GitHub that you can verify about this, and the additional library that I use in order to develop my codes to make something about a configuration in Cisco devices, okay? So all the libraries, it's totally free. We can access by GitHub, for example, and it depends of you need to do on the environment. For example, SNMP, it's good because sometimes you don't have access on the device. You don't need to make a telnet or a SSH. You just getting by SNMP. So sometimes it's good for you. Okay? Okay, guys, I finish. I don't know if I quickly, but I don't have time to deep dive about this. But on Thursday, I will go through on code, and I will give it a demo, okay? Thank you so much.